as of the past few days, I've been seeing the name two-way pass first point or two-way pass first guard. I've been seeing it a lot lately. As you know, I would see two-way playmakers here and there, the perimeter locks. But as y'all see in this gameplay right here, I'm playing against two-way pass first point builds. Literally, when I seen this, I was like, why are they running this lineup? And I thought about, there's a pass first point build on this game, a two-way pass first point build on this game that's not a lockdown build. And I'll make this build maybe 2 weeks into the game, and it's maybe one of the craziest builds you can make, because it could be an ISO build, it can be a secondary ball handler. The build is so great, you'll be like, how is this even possible and why does it even have this name? But as y'all know, with the original two-way pass first point build, it's usually a half and half green red. The badge loadout looking somewhat similar to what I have. You might have more playmaking, you might have less shooting. It's one of those best of both world things. We're gonna end up starting from scratch, as like this is the mostly defensive and spot up type build, and it doesn't have a high ball control. As most of the time I see people on this build, they're usually using a 6'5", a 6'4". I think the lowest you can go with this build is maybe 6'3", and you can go all the way to 6'6". If you're someone that wants to name two-way pass first guard, you're going to make this a shooting guard. If you want point, make it a point guard. But the pie chart you're going to use is the more green, less blue. I'm going to tell y'all boys this now. These pie charts with green and blue, the more green, less blue, the more blue, less green, the half and half, most of the half and halves this year, they actually toned down some of these half and half pie charts unless it's a play shot build. Most of the half and half pie charts, when it comes to actually getting the best out of the whole build, more of the whatever you want to pick in the category is somewhat a better build compared to these half and halves. The half and halves is mostly for somewhat rep preferences and mostly getting the most obtainable rep that you can get. But as I pick the speed pie chart, you're going to need speed. Since this is not with Hall of Fame playmaking, you're going to need the most speed you can get on this build. Unlike the other build, as I said, you can be 6'3", the lowest you can be with that build. On this build, you have to be 6'5". Unless you want to maybe mess with the metric system and maybe go 6'4.5", but it still won't get you the name two-way pass first point. And you will get the elite dribble moves if you go 6'4", but you won't be able to unlock the Derrick Rose, the Kemba Walkers, stuff like that if you're not 6'4". But if you want the name two-way pass first point, you're going to end up making this build 6'5" or 6'6". But the 6'5" height is the perfect height on this build. But as I upgrade this build, you don't really need that high mid-range on this build. If you want more shooting, you could, but make sure your mid-range is lower than your three-pointer. But look, as you got the playmaking, you can get 16 playmaking badges, but we're going with 15. 15 is literally gets the job done with this build. Especially with you having gold playmaking. If I had 18, that would be the perfect sweet spot, but 15 is going to get the job done. But as I already have 20 shooting badges, 15 playmaking, and as I raise my finishing, you could go with 9 finishing badges. But to be honest, you could go with 12. But why you want to get the best of both worlds and go with 13? So as you have the number of 13, 20, and 15, all I got to do is upgrade my standing dunk once. I got 13 finishing badges. We're taking a glance at this build. This is looking like a well-rounded build. It's looking like a more balanced build. It's like it can do almost everything we need it to do. It can pass, it can shoot, it can drive to the hole, and it can play decent defense. That sounds like a LaMelo Ball build to me. As you trying to make the build 6'6", it makes the build kind of hard to play with, but it is playable if you make it. But 6'5", I prefer the 6'5" because of the speed ability, and you're going to be able to get your shot off a little faster. Build name being a two-way pass first point. This is looking like an offensive two-way pass first point. This is looking like a two-way three-point pass first point build, to be honest. This build, just looking at it, it's a two-way three-point pass first point type build, just because of how the rating is for the shooting. Because once you end up maxing the arms out, you're going to still have an 83 pointer, but you're going to end up hitting 99 on this build, or even 98 on this build, and you're going to have an 83 3-pointer. And you know you can hit with a lower three-pointer than that. 83 is literally in the middle this year. 70, all you can hit with. 65, we know we can hit with 53 pointers. But 82 is, or 83, you literally should be able to green very well, especially at the top of the three, especially on the wing, in the corner, wherever they place you on the court. If you're a secondary ball handler or the main ball handler, you're going to be successful around the court with the shooting ability. And you have Hall of Fame shooting. As I said earlier in the video, if you're going to end up making this build, you have to make it 6'5". If you're someone that does not care for the name two-way pass first point, and you will take pass first point by itself, you can make the build 6'4". But as you making it 6'5" and you want that name, as you look at the wingspan, this is max wingspan. If I knock down my wingspan just one, it will give me the name pass first point. And at that point, you might as well make it a 6'4". But if you want the name, make it 6'5". So the wingspan and the height really determines what the name you're gonna get. Because if I lower this wingspan one time, like I said, you're gonna get pass first point on this build. And if that's not what you're looking for, you might as well not do that. But as I end up doing that, hitting pass first point, hitting any takeover, it's gonna give me the name. If I lower my wingspan lower one more time, I'm gonna get a whole different name, especially with this pie chart. It's possible to get at least 6 different names on this whole pie chart that I'm using. If I lower it one more time, it's gonna give me the name 3-point playmaker. Even though it has slashing in this build, it's gonna give me the name 3-point playmaker. But as I was usually going, max wingspan on this build, it's gonna give me the name 2-way pass first point. But before we get into that, the takeovers that you get to pick: slashing, sharp, playmaking, and lock. To be honest, on this build, it's no point in you putting a lock takeover. It's no point. It takes too long for you to get lock takeover. Even if you shoot threes, you have to get stops. It's no point for you maybe to use playmaking unless you want to really have fun with it, because this does take a long time to get playmaking takeover. Then with slashing takeover, it is a benefit of you being able to get elite contact dunks at 99 overall with the 82 driving dunk. My player is in slashing takeover, but when it comes to the other takeover, the secondary or primary choice based on which one you're leaning to, is sharp takeover. Sharp takeover, you get +10 on shooting. You will have a 92 3-pointer in takeover. You will have a decent dunk rating to at least get contact dunks, because as you have an 82 +5, you will have an 86 driving dunk rating in takeover. So you unlock the basic contact dunks, but it won't be as crazy having elite contact dunks. But it is a good choice if you want to choose that. But as we get the name 2-way pass first point, LaMelo Ball, DeJounte Murray, and Steve Francis, I'm gonna tell y'all boys the best way I would set this up on this build. The best way I set this up, since I can't get contact dunks off the rip, could be Limitless Takeoff on gold, Posterizer on silver, Slithery on gold, maybe Fearless or Acrobat on gold. But something like this, I do Fearless on gold, Acrobat on silver, and Posterize on silver until I get my dunk to at least at 80. So when I am in takeover, I at least have an 85 driving dunk when I have takeover with sharp. And now I have a 90 driving dunk if I have my takeovers in slasher. So anywhere around there, you will end up being able to be successful even with that bad setup. But since you got Hall of Fame shooting badges and you only got 20, this is going to be the hard part for you. 20 is not enough. Especially being the main ball handler, 20 is not enough, especially on Hall of Fame. If it was 20 gold, you can get the job done. But with 20 Hall of Fame, you got to be real precise, because the certain badges that you pick on Hall of Fame are going to be the crucial badges. As most of the time, you're going to have Hall of Fame Sniper, Hall of Fame Hot Zone Hunter, and everything else could possibly be gold. But as you only having 20, you can't mismatch unless you lower the other badges. And then you have to lower your dead eyes to silver, and then you have blinders on gold, and you have stop and pop on gold. That's where somewhat you have to make the decision. Do I use mismatch? Since I'm 6'5", I'm barely going to get a mismatch, because most of the people that's going to be checking me are going to be 6'5". But if you get the center on you, you can end up getting mismatch. But when it comes to the playmaking badges, this is the best setup I got. The best setup was 15 playmaking badges. If you're not using bailout, you can put bailout on bronze if you want to, but you gotta lower your bullet passer to silver, and we do not want to do that. If you're someone that's not using bullet passer on gold or Hall of Fame and you got the ability to put it on, make sure you do that. You are in the wrong if you do not have bullet passer on gold, because passes without bullet passer are very, very slow, like very slow. But when it comes to defensive badges, since you have 6, you can go interceptor since you're playing the corner, or you, if you're somewhat still in the corner, you got a guard that can play defense, or you're running with a lockdown, you can use the hustler, interceptor, menace for someone that's playing ball. But look, if you're going to end up making this 2-way pass first point build or guard build, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, put on post notifications if you haven't yet. It been your man ChaMoma, and I'll see y'all boys in the next